Hi there. Again, welcome to Reconnecting Africa amid Caribbean Festival, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, now I got a pleasure to talk to my dear friend.
Hi.
Yes, welcome to Reconnecting Africa. Introduce yourself, my sister. Where you from? Tell us where you from.
Okay. Hi, my name is Pardina. I was born in London. I grew up in St. Lucia. 758 represents. And my mother's South African, my father's St. Lucian. So I'm all
Wow.
over the place.
So you got it's sort of you got both cultures, isn't it? South Africa
cultures.
and
St. Lucia.
Saint Lucia.
Yep.
Okay, tell me, what do you know about Africa?
I know what my mother told me. I grew up in St. Lucia, but I grew up with my mother. She obviously, because she grew up in South Africa, she told me all about apartheid and what's that like. She told me about, how beautiful Africa is, but also how harsh and, it was for her growing up. But I went when I was a teen, so I went from St. Lucia to South Africa to see what it was like. And it was a whole different experience. My mom's from Cape Town. Cape Town is so beautiful. We went out to Oudtshoorn, the wine country. We reconnected with people from her family. So it was really good.
The Africa you heard and the Africa you saw was different.
Yeah, because she was remembering what it was like
Yeah.
way back when, and
Yeah.
it was so different. For her, it was going home, but it was so different to when she left.
So they met in London.
Yes, they
And
met
you
in
born in London.
Yes.
Okay. How many times you been in in Africa?
I've only been to South Africa once. Spent half my life in St. Lucia, half my life in
How
Lagos.
did you feel? I know probably you already said that, but did you feel like you belong to South Africa? You belong home? You belong to Africa?
In some ways, yes. Like sometimes walking around South Africa, I saw people that looked like me. Like it's not like I didn't see people like that in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean, of course, I see my people, but there are specific things that I think South African women look like, and I saw that, and I couldn't see that in my St. Lucian family.
What was the look? Come and tell me. What they look like.
Like little things like body shape, for example. That was a big thing for me. I was like, oh, that's where I get it from.
Exactly. And for long time, us as a man, we were told that everybody now minds that the women actually look at being about now. For black men, we love our sisters. The way,
Traditionally built women.
exactly, the way we made originally. And the funny thing is that now, they're trying to be like you sisters.
Yeah.
Be proud of yourself. Yeah. Tell me another thing. What about the food? Did you find any difference between the food in growing up Saint Lucia and the Africa?
I think St. Lucian food and West African food, especially, is really different. I've got a lot of, not that different. Sorry,
Yeah.
I've got a lot of family, friends from Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, especially. My mom's best friends from Sierra Leone. A lot of the food there has a lot of crossovers with our food back home in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
Especially things like accra fish cakes. That's something that one of my friends was like, they sell that in Ghana, they all the time.
Yes. What about fufu?
So I did not have fufu until I moved to the UK and I met West African people.
Okay.
So we have, because fufu is cassava, right? We have cassava and we make our own cassava flour. We call it farine in St. Lucia. But we don't eat it the way we eat it in West Africa.
Sure.
We tend to bake it into
Yeah.
cakes.
I think every African does. They tend to make it different ways, but yeah, basically it's the same.
Yeah, we all use the same ingredients and we just make it our own.
Yeah. What? And do you use cassava leaf?
We do. I don't know how to cook cassava leaves personally, but we do.
That's one African loves it. What about pumpkin leaves? Do you use it?
I don't think so, you know. We have like pumpkin soup and we use
Yeah.
pumpkin and spices and all that things.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about the pumpkin leaves.
You are more Londoner than St. Lucia.
I don't think so. I was in St. Lucia from
Yeah.
like like a baby till I was like 17 years old.
Tell me one thing. If it's St. Lucia, if they still keep the one thing that Africa is still doing now, which is in some countries they call lobola, which is like when say someone loves you, likes you, and wanna marry you, and it goes to your parents or your uncle, whatever, and you do all the foremost things, and then like a diary. They do this in Saint Lucia.
No, we don't do dowry in St. Lucia. I'd say that love and marriage and things, I find is a lot more casual in Caribbean cultures.
Okay.
But I think Caribbean families and African families have similar expectations.
Yes.
They expect the person you bring home. First, you expect to bring them home. You can't marry like a stranger. They have to meet them. They have to make sure that that they want to be part of our culture. They want to learn about us, things like that. But we don't do dowry, no.
So, are you in favor of black culture / African culture to keep the way it is, or to be more like a white thing?
I don't think we need to be Eurocentric. I don't think we need to be like white people. But I do think that some expectations that we have of each other maybe need to, I guess, relax a little bit. Like I said, I didn't grow up in a culture that expects a dowry. I know a lot of my West African family, like my friends and stuff, is something that they talk about. But I do see that kind of like, it's not as common now as I think, like my mom's friends, like their culture, their generation has it. I don't think like my generation has it as much. But I think that there's a lot of value in how we kind of view love and marriage. I think we definitely view it in a much more practical way, in about taking care of each other and about being part of each other's communities, support, things like that. I think that that's something we should always keep. I think it's important.
So, what's the people in St. Lucia think about Africa?
I think there's a lot of like love and curiosity there in St. Lucia. I think a lot of people would love to go to Africa. Because of my mother, I was very lucky. I was able to go. A lot of people don't have that opportunity. I do think that, and it's a conversation that happens quite a lot in Caribbean spaces. Some people feel more connected than others. Some people feel it's like a strong part of their identity. Other people are like, I'm still a Caribbean person, but I have African heritage. And I think it's a continuing conversation in like the African diaspora.
Okay, so probably we should put this to an end. Yes, like Peter Tosh said, as long you are a black man, you are an African. You end up in the Caribbean, yes, that's true, but you are an African. That's your identity.
All us black people, we're all connected to like our homeland and to our identity. And I think we have a lot more similarities than we have differences. Like all these different countries and borders and names, I don't think it matters as much. I think we're still all one people.
Exactly. We are one people, and now it's time for us to reconnect. On this channel here, like we reconnect the people that came from Africa. We know that our ancestors left Africa for a lot of reasons. Some left through the slave trade, others left even before the white men put their foot in Africa. Here we see a sister that is descendant of those we were taken from Africa, but she's proud to be African. To my brothers there in the Caribbean in general, don't forget your identity. This channel can help you to reconnect to your roots. Your root is Africa. It doesn't matter what country in Africa, because Africa had no borders. From top to bottom was one, and our ancestors then traveled from one place to another. So you are black, you are an African. My sister, is there any message to your African cousins
I just want to
in
say,
Africa?
I just want to say, honestly, travel far and wide, see the world, bring our cultures, bring our foods, bring our ideas to people, and just keep on connecting with each other.
And the message to the Caribbean family.
Also, travel. I think us island people, we need to show the world just how amazing our part of the world is. I don't think they know.
Yeah, you need to travel to your motherland.
Yes.
Isn't it? That's what you're saying.
The motherland, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, anything that probably I didn't ask you would love to share?
I miss being around more black people.
Okay.
Because even when I was in the UK, I was in London, so I was around people that look like me. There's a big Caribbean community in London. There's a big African community in London. And before that, I was in St. Lucia. So obviously I was around people that, look like me, black women. And sort of coming here, I don't feel as connected to that as I did before.
You miss that black community, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. That's why it's good for us to be around our people. Thank you, like I said, thank you so much for
problem.
talking to Reconnecting Africa.
No problem.
Yes, and have a good day here. And for those in the Caribbean, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Trinidad,
All my people, them.
please subscribe to Reconnecting Africa. This is your channel. Help us to grow. Until next time, we say Reconnecting Africa. Bye-bye.